knew I was going to do that. Welcome in to the Rocky Mountain Raptors 2025 season preview, airing live here on 12 on Sports via YouTube and X. Subscribe to the channel and follow the network at 12OZ Sports. This is a very exciting occasion for the network. 12 on Sports is going to be your access to Rocky Mountain Raptors this season, as we'll discuss later on. Next Saturday, July 12th at 8:45 Eastern, the games begin. Tonight, however, we're going to discuss the Lacrosse League, revisit the Raptors' triumphant start to the league last year, find out what all goes into making these broadcasts work, and break down the Rocky Mountain Raptors for their upcoming season. Before we get started, we want to let you know that this show is going to be brought to you by the ticketing platform at 12onsports.com. Get sports and concert tickets for less by going to that website, 12onsports.com/tickets. That's 12onsports.com/tickets. Tickets for less. Alrighty, so we're going to first bring on our guest, Cameron Swearingen, who is affiliated with the Rocky Mountain Raptors. Cameron, I want to first ask you, what is it that you do with the team as it stands right now?
As it stands right now, I'm going to be helping out with the social media and broadcasting part of it, making sure everything goes smoothly so it's easy for you guys to go through.
Heck yeah. Well, also I want to thank you for coming on and taking time out of your holiday weekend to come on the show. I think you'd be a good guest to ask about the Lacrosse League. Can you tell us a few things about the BLL, and what can you tell, like a lot of fans are going to be National Lacrosse League fans. What can you tell our NLL fans about this league?
What I can tell you about this league, and I want to first say thank you for bringing me on, is basically it's kind of like a farm league for players to get developed into the NLL. Basically, we had a couple guys last year from our face-off guy. Got signed up to the Mammoths practice squad last season.
Ooh.
So we're big and develop top-tier players for the NLL.
Do you watch a lot of the Lacrosse League outside the Raptors, or you still stay kind of dialed in?
I try to watch it during the off season to see what's going on around the league and stuff, but during the season I dialed in with the Raptors and making sure they were ready to go.
Fair enough. You talked about the NLL affiliation. How talented are players? Not just you can mention some Raptors. You mentioned the guy that face off. How talented are the players in this league? Like how many of them do you think are going up to the NLL, like on a given year? You feel
on a given year, it really just depends. Like there's with the NLL, like as you saw, Panther City collapsed last year, and then there's a chance of Rochester going down this year. So it's kind of hard to predict who's going to go where, but there is a lot of talent coming from the league. The league is based out all nationwide. We got teams out of we got 2 teams here in Colorado. We got 2 teams out in Utah, and then we just have a couple coming out of California.
Yeah, I saw you mentioned California. Chewing Judas. That's a great name, by the way. Raptors versus Royals is going to be a wild battle. We, of course, will get into that. Royals are kind of doing the same thing you guys did last year. They're joining the league this year, right?
Correct. And the Royals are very well known in the collegiate box lacrosse league. They are very, very skilled. I think this is going to be a very good matchup going into week 1 for the Raptors. I think it's going to determine if they have the grit to proceed to win the championship this season.
Yeah, I gotta ask you now as we circle back to this BLL. Let's talk about the rules. Are the rules identical to the National Lacrosse League? And if there's any difference, can you let any potential new viewers know?
Yes, so the rules for the BLL is going to go strictly off of NLL rules. There's going to be a 30-second shot clock, still 8 seconds to get over midfield, and then there's still fights allowed. So could see a couple of heavy tilts going on, but other than that, it's still the same as the NLL rules.
So we drop in the mid. How often you do the Raptors? Are they known for dropping mitts, or or year two is when we're going to start here?
There's been one time when we played the Rush last year that they had to drop the mitts and to tell them basically who we are and who we are standing in this league. But going into this year, I think that since we are hosting the Harvest Classic at the end of the season, which is the playoffs for the BLL, we're hoping to definitely make another stand and run it back to the championship and hopefully dethrone the Voyagers from Chicago.
Woo! You mentioned the Rush. Was that the Gold Rush last season when that fight happened?
Yeah.
So yeah, the Gold Rush I know is actually on the schedule. Both of the last games are against the Gold Rush. So that'll be fun. A little bit of rematch. Did the Raptors win that fight? Do you remember? Or you can be biased. I don't care.
Yeah, they did. They did. We did win that fight. Which is that funny because it's all on the Instagram page, so anybody can go out and watch that fight. But yeah, we swept the Gold Rush last year, so hopefully we can turn around and go again this year. The Gold Rush hasn't had a terrific start to their season, but they have tremendous players that I know that are down there. But I think the Raptors will definitely make a name for themselves coming up this season.
I mean, obviously, you are definitely bought in considering you're part of the team here. Let's go ahead and just take a quick commercial break. When we come back on, we're going to bring in Jeff Beck here, a.k.a. El Jefe. We're going to talk to him about 12 on sports and such. You stay right here. We're going to take a quick break. But thanks for joining us, Cameron. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back to the 2025 season preview for the Rocky Mountain Raptors.
Thank you, Michael.
You need tickets to that next event? We've got them. That's right, tickets.12ozsports.com. Get you to any sporting event, concert, theater event that you can think of. And the promo code 12OZ or ROME gets you an additional discount. Don't feed the massive ticket corporate machine. Go to tickets.12ozsports.com and enjoy the show.
I wish you guys could
We're
see the
down.
boys.
We're down. We're down playing the fight with the Gold Rush. The Raptors kicked their ass, baby. Let's go. And they're 0-2. They're 0-2. We posted it on our Instagram. The Gold Rush sucked. The Raptors are going to win the title again this year. You downplayed that fight. Come on. Let's go.
I was wondering, like, oh yeah, we beat them. Like, what do you mean beat them? Is it like, like a bit square to the right over here? Like, come on, man.
It was a heavy.
Hands.
It was heavy.
Yeah,
what?
it was a heavy right. Yeah, it was a nice heavy tilt with the right hand.
Yes. The Raptors. What is the username exactly for the Raptors Instagram so people can know?
So it's going to be.
Let me pull it up, Michael. It goes.
Well, he can tell us.
I gotta find it. It's RM.Raptors on Instagram.
Yes. I love that.
So
All right,
RM RM for Rocky Mountain Raptors on Instagram. There you go.
Thank you for that. I love that. So we're back here on the 2025 season preview of the Rocky Mountain Raptors. Nice official announcement coming here soon. But before we get into that, we want to let you know the show is presented by your ability to purchase tickets through 12onsports.com. Click the tickets tab, experience sports and music for less. Tickets at 12onsports.com. We bring in Jeff El Jefe Beck here. Tell us your standing with 12 on Sports, good sir.
Well, happy 4th of July to all those who celebrate. Even if you're Canadian, it's Independence Day. You're not going to be the 51st state, so that's a good thing for you. What do you want me to tell you about 12 on Sports? 12 on Sports was a dream several years ago. It started out as a radio network, a bunch of drunks sitting around talking sports. It's blossomed into a full-scale sports network. And we're excited about the Rocky Mountain Raptors. Kind of the way we all became, in cahoots with each other is 12 Ounce Sports does the Montana Lacrosse League every year. Last year was the first year. And the general manager, who hopefully joins us tonight, Nate Dean, saw our.
Nate, can you join us? He just popped in here. Are we good?
Oh, he heard me talking about
me.
me.
Yes! I decided to hop right in.
There we go. Yeah.
He's here. The man, the myth, the legend.
Nate, thanks for joining us. Michael just asked, about the history of 12 Ounce Sports, and I was kind of going into how we all got into kind of the same basket. You saw us at the Montana Lacrosse League, so that's where we're at. We're very excited about next weekend, and we haven't really officially announced it. I think we have. Michael, go ahead.
I was going to say, I want to first ask Nate how he got to this point, and then we can do that. So, Nate, how did you get to being the Raptors GM at this point? What's your lacrosse background, big guy?
Yeah, absolutely. So my background starts in upstate New York. I was originally, I'm from Albany, and I went to college in Ithaca College. We would travel over to Onondaga all of the time. We were a bunch of just ignorant white boys, no rib pads, no biceps, no nothing, just getting the absolute crap beat out of us. But we just kept coming back because we loved it so much. But yeah, so that was my first introduction to box. We eventually moved over to Colorado. We knew that had a thriving box lacrosse community. And we've been trying to build up to this point ever since. Colorado has some incredible box lacrosse talent, but for the longest time, there's been a lot of bad blood between a lot of the different teams and everything like that. Nobody really likes to get along. So the Raptors this year, not even last year, but this year is the first true year that we have a true Colorado All-Star team. So we're very excited for what's to come. Everybody has kind of put their differences aside, and we are here to make a statement that Colorado is one of the up-and-coming box lacrosse states here in the place to park.
So I appreciate that. Cameron, you kind of mentioned about the tilt last year. Are we still going to see some stuff this year? Or?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have
absolutely.
Yeah, no, we still have all of that energy. It's just kind of all directed towards everyone else at this point.
Right.
Kind of
You go ahead, Cameron.
Like I was saying from earlier, the Raptors are going to be focused on trying to head back to the championship this year and hopefully bring back the title to Colorado and take it away from the Voyagers.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, like, Voyagers are nice and all, but we talk about the Royals. They got a plus 112 GD. That's pretty GD good if you ask me. There,
yes, they absolutely do. They are the top. They are the top of on our radar this year. Sorry, Voyagers. But winning 3 NCBS championships, losing in overtime against New York. They've definitely shown that they know their stuff. Cam Holding as their head coach. Obviously, they have a lot of good stuff coming in. But despite all of that, I am still confident that we'll be able to give them one hell of a show. So they'll be coming to us. It'll be their first travel game. We'll see how they travel. Of course, they got all the Alibaba money with Joe Tsai and the San Diego team out there. So maybe they'll travel just fine. But either way, we'll see what happens.
It'll also be the Royals at the Raptors' first ever broadcast on 12 on Sports. So It's kind of a monumental game right there.
It is a big one. Unfortunately, it's our first game of the season. If I'm being honest, I probably would have liked to have had a couple other teams under our belt beforehand. The biggest name of the game is going to be chemistry with our offense. But we have some incredible players on our squad this year. I think even our squad this year would be able to stomp our squad from last year, and we were very good last year. So I am very excited for what we're going to be able to showing off. With more athletics, we're also trying to hopefully organize what would eventually be like an American Man Cup between the BLL and the NABLL. We're obviously still working out the details. I know that the Picking Corners podcast had kind of launched a joint power ranking system, put the Raptors at number 3, and that certainly ruffled some feathers. So I am happy to be able to go out there and prove what we're capable of. But we got to win the BLL first. We got to focus on what's ahead of us, and the Royals is the number 1 team that we need to be able to put our energy into.
So a lot to unpack here. Jeff and Nate, can you guys let the people know, are we just only doing one game on 12 on Sports, or how are we doing this year?
Well, I'm very excited to say that we will have our entire all of our home games will be on 12 on Sports. And we only have 2 away games for the entire season, including the Harvest Classic will be in Colorado this year. So home field advantage all the way around, all things considered. So we are very excited to be able to bring 90% of the season here on 12 Out Sports.
Yeah. I think it's no, all right.
Easy now.
I think it's 7 games, that are on 12 Ounce Sports. Cameron, thank goodness we have a cameraman, and it's funny that Cameron is the cameraman.
Right, that was definitely by design. I take full credit for that.
Now, Nate, we're gonna call you out on air though. The camera owner has to make sure the cameraman gets the camera. So
don't worry, we're going to have all that taken care of. I'm going 2 hours before the first game to make sure that everything is set up. So we are going to be very happy with how display is. And thank God for Cameron, so we don't have to rely on the AI system. It's fine for our men's league, but when we're taking a game as serious as the BLL, we want to make sure that we give the fans an accurate display and we're not just staring at an empty part of the field while I do something cool off camera and nobody gets to see it.
Yeah.
I swear.
It kind of frustrating us watching it, right? No, but we're excited for this. And Cameron, you are the key here. No pressure. Wait, he talked about the Royals. I just want to circle back to them because maybe history will repeat itself here. Like, you guys were the new kids on the block last year. You make it, but lose. Now it's time for you guys to return the favor. And it would be nice to see a Royals Raptors championship, if I'm being honest, for the people. But it'd be nice to see the Royals repeat history and lose in that game as well, for being fair.
I mean, the Royals joining the BLL, I think, is excellent for the growth of our sport. I know that the NCBS is kind of going through some transitions and everything like that. So I'm really happy that we had a program as dedicated as the Royals join us. Being able to showcase, the talent that comes out of California and the western part of the United States. Hi, sweetie. But I'm very excited for them to be able to kind of elevate the skill level because at the end of the day, we all want to be able to get better, and crucial, well-earned reps are so vital and so hard to come by these days, especially in the men's league world. So being able to go up against such talented players is honestly a blessing, no matter which way we take it. And, let's say things don't go our way in the first game. That gives us an entire season to be able to fine-tune ourselves, figure out where we're going to go. And I have no doubt that the Raptors will see the Royals again in the playoffs and the championship. So no matter what happens, it'll be a great indicator for a wonderful season ahead of us. So.
One more thing I do want to mention before Jeff goes here. I think you're chomping at the bit there over there. Speaking of chomping, Chewing Judas did mention, I can't bring his comment up because he's going to cut off at the screen here. I guess I should give context. He says he is the GM of the Neon Knights BLL team from Vegas, which is awesome, by the way. They got their teeth kicked in. I'm not sure by which team. I don't remember which one we were talking about there.
Yes, the Utah Storm. Yeah. And then the Storm got their teeth kicked in by the Royals. So it'll be an interesting transition.
But we appreciate Chewing Judas for coming on the show here.
I don't see the neon lights in the. Oh, they're the senior B
Vegas
division.
Neon Lights.
Yes, so the BLL does something separate than the NABLL, in which they have both an A league and a B league, which I think is great because the sport of box across the United States is very much so in the developmental stage. A lot of people are introduced to it from field, and it is at its core a truly unique sport. If you play lacrosse in field, those skills don't necessarily always transfer over into the box game. So a developmental period is absolutely necessary. I had the opportunity to play against Vegas in the Vegas tournament over the summer, along with the Friars and a few of the other new BLL teams. So I'm very excited to just kind of see the sport growing in a lot of these states in which, 10 years ago, most people didn't even know what lacrosse was. Now, not only
guilty,
but we have box lacrosse as well. So it's fantastic to see that growth and, us just kind of taking over the whole Western side. And that's a big shout out to the BLL for being able to promote and give an opportunity for these teams who wouldn't have necessarily had that chance if they, hadn't been completely self-reliant on the East Coast.
Go ahead, Jeff. I think you saying something there earlier.
I have a 2-part question. So yes, what you just said really spoke to me because people like Joe Rogan are even now talking about the box lacrosse game. And
seeing a wonderful fight always helps for social media.
Yeah.
Not saying that the Raptors haven't capitalized on that either.
Now, shout out to Michael. He was the first guy on 12 Ounce Sports to have that guy on his show live right after that fight.
Elijah Gash. That
that was a good fight too. He's a UAlbany grad, so shout out UAlbany.
Well, he came on 12 Ounce Sports right after the fight, right after Joe Rogan's talked about it. So we were actually kind of privileged. I have a 2-part question. This is for Nate. I'm wondering, is it a scheduling thing? Like the Royals are 6-0, you haven't played yet. And then if you can just kind of explain why they're 6 games deep and you haven't played yet. And then also, can you kind of break down how the playoffs are formatted in the BLL?
Yeah, absolutely. So our schedule is definitely by design. We have a lot of coaches. They work for True. They work for 91 Sports, all of the big major names out there. June is a very popular time for which they have to travel for tournaments and everything like that. I credit a lot of our loss to the Portagers last year, unfortunately, to not being able to travel well. So we spent a lot of time sitting down with our players and working on a schedule that would be the most accommodating for everyone. Obviously, having so many home games this year is certainly an advantage that we're very thankful for. But we wanted to make sure that we had a lot of time to be able to not only make sure that everybody could attend these games, but make sure that we had the chemistry down to be able to give our best effort against these teams. So this gives us all of June essentially to be able to hold practices, work with each other, and, figure out kind of what makes us tick, what works, who works with who, work on our lines, and really take some time to also get some film under our belt. I think I've watched the Royals versus the Whalers game maybe like 5 or 6 times down and figure out which can be certainly difficult when the Whalers possess the ball for maybe about 5 seconds and then it results in a turnover. But if you know what you're doing, you're able to find useful information throughout all of that. So we're definitely trying to take every advantage we can to make sure that we do this right this season. To your second question for the playoff structure. So only A-League teams will participate in the playoffs. There is a Western Conference and an Eastern Conference. The Western Conference of the A-League is comprised of the Raptors, the Whalers, the Storm, the Royals, and the Gold Rush. While the Eastern Conference is comprised of, Chicago, the Muskies, I believe the Milkmen, and then I want to say the Bobcats, but they're a new team.
I'm pulling up to check you on that.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm not 100% sure on the East.
No. You nailed it.
Really on that. All right.
You nailed it. I'm looking. You nailed it perfectly.
Good.
Yeah. So, I mean, luckily, I'm also privileged just through my company with Moro to be able to work with a lot of these boys on both sides of things. So a lot of their GMs are wonderful people. I love being able to work with them and be able to grow this sport. But I certainly am laser focused on who is a threat and who is not. And we are going to be 100% ready for when playoffs come around to make a statement to not only the BLL, but we want to make a statement to the United States as a whole to show that Colorado is here. We are able to be the best of the best when it comes to the sport of box lacrosse. We have been playing in leagues here in Colorado for box lacrosse for over 20 years now. The CILL actually just had their 20th anniversary. So we're a thriving culture that we're very proud of, and we want to show the rest of the world that. When you think of box lacrosse, most of the time, obviously, you think of Canada, but then who do you think of? You think of the reservations, you think of upstate New York, and the Wild, who are now the 3-time repeats out of Maryland. Are certainly been able to make a name for themselves. And I would love an opportunity to be able to go against those guys. I have traveled all over the United States in many different tournaments, and I've been able to play against a lot of these guys on, say, like the Northmen or the Wheat Kings or the Spirits. A lot of these guys I've been able to go up against, and I know where they line up with, and they're all incredibly talented players. But despite all that, I still believe that Colorado box lacrosse, when it's playing at its best, would be able to make a statement that some people may disagree with me on, but I think that we are right up there with the best of them.
Nice.
It's on sports too. I want to first ask Cameron something, and then I want to take a quick commercial break to make sure we just give our time and get some water and stuff like that. Cameron, I do have to ask you about the because you have mentioned to us before behind the scenes that the Raptors practice in a very special place.
Yes, they do.
Let us know. Let the viewers know about that.
So the Raptors' home field and practice facility is actually where the Colorado Mammoth practice facility is at, which is pretty cool. Dino can chime in on this. I think it's one of the best fields that I've ever played on, at least in the men's league. It's definitely one of a kind, and I think the altitude is definitely going to play a part in that this season.
A big thing. Yeah. So Hills Fieldhouse is where we all practice, and it is a wonderful facility. We're in talks right now of getting some brand new turf and everything set up for the next season. So an upgrade for the Mammoth is an upgrade for the Raptors. So we benefit either way from that. So we're very excited for what's to come. It's great for stands and everything along those lines. We're able to get lots of fans in. We hold A-League and B-League games. We also have introduced a women's league out there for box lacrosse, and our youth league starts next year as well. All credit, of course, goes to Charlie Witt, the owner of the Rocky Mountain Raptors and this Colorado Box Lacrosse League. If you want to be involved with box lacrosse, he is absolutely somebody that you have to have in your corner.
Wow. Jeff, you got anything before we go to commercial here?
No, I'm loving this. I can't wait for
Make sure you chop it a bit over there. All right, well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I want to talk more about the Raptors specifically because I got a few questions for Cameron and Nate, and then we'll see where things head. We'll be right back, folks.
Absolutely. That's
You need tickets to that next event? We've got them. That's right, tickets.12ozsports.com. Get you to any sporting event, concert, theater event that you can think of. And the promo code 12OZ or ROME get you an additional discount. Don't feed the massive ticket corporate machine. Go to tickets.12ozsports.com and enjoy the show.
Welcome back. We I want to make
Cameron's
sure
at the party. Cameron's at the
Yes,
party.
I am.
I know.
Where'd Nate go?
Welcome
There we go. I'm right here. I'm right
back,
here.
Nate. Making sure. Okay. All right, so welcome back to the 2025 season preview of the Rocky Mountain Raptors. As you may have heard in the previous segment, all home games are going to be free on YouTube. YouTube on Sports. We appreciate Nate Dean and Jeff Beck for getting that together for us. Cameron Swearingen, camera guy extraordinaire, Raptors, joining us here. Cameron, I want to ask you this. You have mentioned to me two names in particular, and Matt Stento, and the other one was, if I could only find it, Matt Stento and Connor Schultz. What can you tell the viewers about those players? Because you have talked to me personally about their star potential.
Their star potential, I think it's what people would say is underrated, because I played on men's league with both of those guys, and those guys are very, very talented. No matter what situation, man up, man down, no matter who are we playing against, it could be the worst, best in the league. They always figure a way to get it done.
I love that.
Oh,
Nate, who are some of your favorite players?
Santos head grow 3 times its size by saying this.
Nate, who are some players that stand out to you? And also, tell us a little bit about some team captains, if we've named those yet, or just locker room guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 2 boys on offense that are really going to stand out this year. The former head captain of the Colorado Roughnecks, Tyler Snyder. He's going to be a huge part of our offense this year. He's been with the Mammoth multiple times. He has a very incredible pedigree. He's an NCBS coach for the Stoneflies, who have won multiple championships. He's basically just an automatic goal scorer, which is
wow.
He's been the bane of my existence for about 8 years. In fact, I actually think we've gotten a fist fight a couple times. So I'm very excited to be on the same side with him instead of having to plan against him.
How you doing today?
I'm doing right. Another one that's going to be huge for us, we're going to have Anthony Ferry, another Roughnecks player. He'll be a lefty forward for us. That man is also just an automatic goal scorer, so that'll be huge. On the defensive ends of things, I'm very excited for Andrew Jark, not just because he's 6'5", but that definitely helps. Of course, Charlie Witt, owner of the CILL, also our star goaltender. That man is a major difference maker for us. He's able to, his IQ is far above most of the rest. He's also he's a pro referee. You'll see him all the time over on ESPN and everything like that. So his understanding is tremendous. So being able to learn from him along with our coach, Jeff Long. And of course, another one of our offensive coordinators, Taylor, they all just bring a wealth of knowledge. Taylor has been playing for a good number of years now. I don't know if you guys know about the original Vermont Voyageurs team, which is basically like the birth of American box lacrosse. I want to say 2008. That's who Team USA used to scrimmage against when they didn't have American box teams and Laxnai and everything like that. So he's got a wealth of knowledge that will be able to help us grow. Our team is young, athletic, and just a ton of automatic goal scorers. But the question is, are they young and athletic enough to be able to keep up with all these D1 boys in the Royals? So we're going to find out in our first game for sure.
Cameron's losing his hat over there. Let's think about the Royals and everything that you just said there.
I mean, they're a very good squad. They've got a lot of talented players on there. They have a very impressive defense when it comes to pressuring the ball on transition. I noticed that a lot when I was watching the Whalers game. They don't give those boys a second to relax. Luckily, we have some guys on our squad, such as Clayton Stanton, who will be able to run like nobody's business, like a bat out of hell. So we've got a lot of boys, a lot of IQ, and a lot of endurance. That elevation certainly does make a difference. Obviously, if you're a top tier athlete, you adapt and you overcome, but it does make, it does give us a little bit of cushion when it comes to all of that. It helps the lungs. We also have the tournament coming up in Breckenridge, Colorado, where we get an additional 10,000 feet. So really helps the lungs of that one.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, one time, Kansas City brought a whole oxygen tank to the sideline bench for that.
Oh,
Which honestly was very smart. All right. That canned air that they sell doesn't cut it.
Let's get to Michael. Let's get to the real questions. I'm looking. Nate's pregame ritual is a steak and a Red Bull. What kind of steak?
Absolutely, it is.
I was going to get you some of those afterwards. Yeah,
caffeine addiction, but you know.
What kind of steak? That. T-bone, sirloin? What do we got?
No, ribeye. You need that juicy.
Yes. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Mike, I don't mean to go off script, but I noticed that the Raptors have a couple guys that are pretty tall, 6'6", 6'4". As I'm a novice, Michael's pretty well versed in box lacrosse. He did his third season of the daily dive for the National Lacrosse League. What, just for people like me that are just getting kind of their toes, in the water here with box lacrosse, does that kind of height give you any kind of advantage in box lacrosse, or is it a hindrance because you have to try to get around with that body?
So typically you see people that tall on the defensive end of things. It definitely is a big difference. You see those taller guys on the bottom side that play defense. So they're able to have kind of an aerial view. They're able to communicate with their top side player. In the box lacrosse game, it's so important that you're able to communicate with your players to call out those picks so you can be able to absorb them, work around them, know that they're coming, and most importantly, not get injured. So being able to kind of have that height difference and just take up space is a lot of the name of the game, as long as you're okay with getting hit with a lacrosse ball. The amount of bruises I have.
How's it feel, Jeff?
But yes, I would absolutely say that it does make a difference. When we ran Denver Grizzlies, the Beefing Bears, previous teams in the past, one of our biggest hindrances was our lack of size. We were one of the smaller size teams, and we had a lot of skilled players, a lot of fast players. But when you go up against size like that, there's just no comparison around it. So being able to have that addition for us, and that was a lot of the success that I can give credit towards for the Raptors for last season, that we were able to recognize that was an issue and we were able to bring that in. So I feel very comfortable being able to have that size IQ, and, just the ability to score goals on command always helps.
You guys dabbled in the free agency and got some tall guys.
We absolutely, we did a lot of searching. Like I said before, the Raptors, this is finally like a true all-star team. We have a lot of, very famous teams that have been playing here for a long time. The 14ers, the Roughnecks, the Tunas, all of these guys have had exceptional players on their squad. So being able to bring them all together and put them onto one team, you're really able to just showcase what Colorado is capable of. Because for the most part, we've kind of just been fighting with each other for 20 years straight now. So it's really nice to be all on the same side for a change.
So this is kind of a non sequitur, but Michael, it might be a good segue into one of your questions for Nate. I noticed, so I'm looking at favorite NLL team of players, and one of your goalies, Charlie Witt, listed. Where'd it go? It said Detroit Turbos. Who?
Oh yeah, Charlie Wood put something retro like that. Hilarious.
Well,
team no longer exists. He's also he's from that area, so that makes
Cameron. Didn't you originally say that he couldn't have a team because he's a referee, right?
Correct. He's a
yeah. So he could. The Turbos is an easy out there.
Yes, that's a very small. That's very.
Who are the Detroit? Who are they?
So they were an NLL team based out of Detroit. I think maybe around the 70s or the 80s.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they're a major throwback team, but that definitely sounds on brand for Charlie Hoover. That's hilarious that he would say something like that.
His original answer was the officiating crew.
Of course, he would say that too.
Mike, did that help? Mike, did that help you segue into the goalie talk?
No, because we've actually heard it from Nate Teased a few times. We can say like superstar Charlie Witt is our goalie. We're gonna be watching, right? Like he's the starting quarterback. He's the ace pitcher. He's the superstar basketball player. Charlie Witt, right?
Yes, at the end of the day, your goaltender makes or breaks your team.
Yes.
And being able to have Charlie in cage is a huge advantage for us, not only from an IQ perspective, but his ability to be able to read his opponents and be able to adapt on the fly is very important for us. He's able to give us valuable insight. Also, when we're on offense, he's been able to sit there, watch, kind of notice things, give us pointers and everything like that. If he could, get his frustration, his anger level under control, he's a perfect player.
Oh my goodness.
Man has a lot of strong feelings when it comes to this game, don't we all? But at the same time,
I'm guilty.
He also has no problem hurting feelings. But everything that comes out of his mouth is valuable information. And I have personally improved tremendously as a player by learning and growing from him.
I gotta because Jeff went to the whole pregame ritual thing. I see a lot of smelling salts. As a person who has no idea what that does for people.
Let's do a live demonstration.
It does great.
Michael,
Michael, brand new one right here. This is from Pegasus Smelling Salts, and this is our cotton candy scent.
Oh.
Can you get those on Amazon, Nate? Because Michael doesn't know. I'm almost 52. I do smelling salts in the morning to wake up.
You can get them on Amazon. I recommend buying them off of Moro.com. All right, let's see. Here we go.
Oh, my gosh.
Right up the nostril. Oh, I can see colors and taste sound. All right. Who's ready for an interview?
Yeah.
Those good segment.
Leave it up to Dino.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I hope the league allows this.
If you're going to run through a wall, let alone another human being, you kind of need to be able to want to fight God halfway through. So
let's put Charlie away from those. Is that what we're saying here?
Oh, yeah. If you don't like being instantly awake in a violent method, then yes, I don't recommend it.
I'm going to need the link to where to get those.
Oh, we can absolutely do that. I mean, so these ones are also, they're veteran made and owned. It's another small business that we love to promote. They come in different scents, such as pumpkin spice, cotton candy, bubblegum cotton candy. And then let's see what else we have here. We have cinnamon. That really burns. And then the OG pure ammonia.
So if you email the link on the email thread we had going for this show, I will buy some tonight. I live by those because I've had 7 concussions. I was an athlete too, and smelling salts is actually Michael doesn't know, but it's actually a very good product to wake up when you need that lift.
Oh, absolutely. It'll get you right there. And these ones, they're surprisingly enough, they're a liquid base, which is not traditionally, you get them in more of a physical salt form. But these things have lasted me for almost 8 months now, and they still give the same reaction that you just saw.
Now, is this because Colorado allows a lot more than other southern states, or is this because we can actually
It's not a drug, Mike.
No, everyone in mind. They're based out of New Jersey, so they're regulated.
I love that.
I do love our lawless little state of Cowboys.
Okay. Makes it easier to play and sign free agents, I'm sure.
That's right. That definitely helps.
Oh, gosh. Cameron, what's on the menu for the cookout, man? I was going to ask Nate about, what are the Raptors doing for a cookout? I feel like Cameron's got his thing. Are we going to have a team thing?
Unfortunately, most of us are at the Vail tournament right now. So me and my wife just got back from Casa Bonita in true Colorado fashion. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was our first time, and it lived up to everything. We saw the cliff divers, we got the mariachi bands, tacos until I popped.
Did you sing Eric Cartman's version of Casa Bonita when you got there?
Bonita.
Yeah. One more serious putty question I want to mention, a Family Guy reference. One more serious putty question here is regarding upcoming opponents. I talk about a lot about the Royals because I've seen them on other places, not just the BLL, but let the people know about teams that the Raptors are looking forward to playing, or you can keep it politically correct and just say the next opponent, which happens to be the Royals.
Oh, no, there's definitely teams out there that we all have great relationships with. The boys out of Utah and Salt Lake City are always a really good time. We love playing against the Storm. We have a great relationship with them. They're one of our original opponents all the way back from our Beefing Bears days.
I remember.
Great job. of being able to develop and grow. When we get into our special announcement, I'll get more into the Storm and what they have cooking up. We also have another team, the Wasatch Whalers. They are honoring one of their fallen comrades, unfortunately, this year, who passed away at the end of the season. So their entire season is dedicated to number 88. So they are playing for a very worthwhile cause this season as well. So the boys out of Utah are always something special. We also get to play the boys out of Kansas City, the new B-League teams such as Boise and Idaho. So we're very excited to see some of these new programs in action and go up against some old friends and rivals.
I got to get some BLL merch, man.
I was going to say, there's a lot of it out there, so we're very excited.
Yeah,
We'll promote it during the broadcast, but just for context, that Whalers match is August 10th, so we'll need everybody to tune in for that. You know, they're dedicating the season. Now we'll be rooting for the Raptors, but you know,
I don't know, man. I'm hearing that. I mean,
well, I will say the Raptors were the first team in BLL history to shut out a program in playoffs. Unfortunately, that was the Whalers. So, you know, very proud of that. They did beat us in our game when we traveled out there last year. A lot of it had to come with travel. We lost by like 1 or 2, but either way, they've got a lot of talented players out there. But the Raptors from last year and the Raptors from this year are very different teams. So I'm excited to see what comes next.
I'm stoked.
I feel like Cameron's behaving on camera, waiting for the show to end.
I see that.
Light off all the fireworks and everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until it gets dark to set those off.
Guys, he has much more shame than I do.
He would have. He's been muting himself. You're like ready to take a phone call. Love that.
I've been muting him.
Oh, don't tell people that. Cameron, don't believe him, dude. It's been all you, bro.
It's all right.
All right, Mike, you're back in charge. What else do you have for us tonight?
Well, that's pretty much it. But I want to make sure, like we have our parting shots here, and just what we're most excited for. I'm excited to be calling 5 of the games. I'm very excited about that. Shout out to Keenan's last name, Jeff?
Cardigan.
So Keenan Cardigan
first. Keenan Candon. Sorry. Our friend from ESPN. We have a friend from ESPN, the network, that gave us a guy that's going to fill in for the first 2 games. So I barely know him, but I think it's Keenan Candon.
Well, we'll go with Keenan or double K, well, whichever one you're thinking. Jeff, what are you? Okay, well, let's do Nate first. Nate, what are you most excited for this season? Just sum it up in a couple sentences here.
Well, so the most thing I'm excited for is, do you guys mind if I make our big announcement for the season?
No, go ahead. No, this is great.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I am excited for is that the Raptors will be able to honor both our Native American players on our team and the Native Americans in our community during our second game of the season against the Storm. We will be having a special charity event game in which we will be working with a lot of the tribal leaders in our local area to be able to bring both awareness and fundraisers for their youth programs. Based out of here, Colorado, we have special jerseys that were designed by Navajo artists on both sides of the team. We'll be having a special charity event in which we'll be able to kind of just, bring some more awareness to their struggles that they have to go through, along with obviously paying homage to the creators of our game that we love so much. So that'll be a very special event for us that I'm very excited for. And the jerseys are just absolute fire. I'm very excited to be able to don those for the season. But it will be a wonderful experience. We're going to have a proper halftime show with smoke dancers and everything along those lines. We have a lot of the dancers from our community that we've been working with. Even the catering will be native based. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be a very special event for a very good cause that I'm very excited for.
That's amazing. Jeff, what are you most excited for? Or I think we're doing a Thanksgiving special, but Jeff, what are you most excited for the upcoming season?
Well, now I'm excited for July 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern time for all this Native American halftime show and the special jerseys.
going to bless the field. They're going to bless the team. It's going to just be.
And we are definitely airing that. We've let Cameron know we want that to be aired on the network too.
It's going to be.
As long as he shows up with the camera.
Don't worry. No, we'll be there. I will be there hours ahead of time to make sure that we're good to go. So we will be ready and all set up before Cameron even steps foot into the building. All he has to do is, just be
press record or join the studio here.
That's right.
Yep.
So, Michael, you asked me, Michael, what am I most excited for? I've already met my excitement. The fact that Nate and I kind of connected after the Montana Lacrosse League. So I'm gonna take this a different direction for you. What am I most excited for in the future? I see I want this to blossom into we are the broadcaster for the Box Lacrosse League. We have a crew in the arenas for the games, not just remote. But I'm very thankful that we came across the Rocky Mountain Raptors. We're gonna do our best job for them. Is it the full scale broadcast? No, but I think we're going to do, them justice. We're going to do the Box Lacrosse League justice. We have a lot of trust in Cameron to run the camera, and we've been doing a lot of, I'm serious. And I know. The teams provide us a lot of good info to, talk about during the game. So I'm just looking forward to the entire season, nothing in one thing in particular. I'm just very excited that we get to do this. And, showcase the Box Lacrosse League, because I think it is a league, the more I look into it, that deserves to be at least streamed for people to watch it. And just not to go off on a rant here, but because I own 12 Ounce Sports, I'm learning that the Box Lacrosse game is actually a special sport. And it's I can't even wrap my head around the fact that you just can't watch it anytime you want. Like, there's paywalls and things like that. So 12 Ounce Sports, we're not going to have paywalls. I think the masses should be influenced or, be able to watch this type of sport, because, the mainstream sports just aren't cutting it for a lot of people. And so if you're watching this preview show, I'm telling you, Box Lacrosse is special. I remember the first thing I put together on Instagram when we made this agreement, and it was the fight that we were talking about early on in the show before Nate joined us.
I'm actually going to go to that player's house for a barbecue right after this.
Nice.
Wow.
And I thought, how is this not considered a mainstream sport? This is unbelievable what I'm watching in the box game. So that's what I'm most excited for, if you can make sense of what I just said. I'm just very excited.
We've had tremendous growth with being able to showcase it here in the United States in the past 10 years. But if you go 20 years back to where I was first learning the sport, it was so just non-existent. Nobody knew what it was. People were just to figure out even what field lacrosse was at the time here in the United States. So to be able to see teams like Kansas City, Vegas, Idaho, California, all of them being able to play the Box Lacrosse game is just something truly special that I'm excited we'll be able to showcase here with you guys.
Before I get to Cameron, I just want to mention, Jeff talked about possibly being on location. I call dibs on the Raptors games in the future if we ever do that. I don't. Well, you guys can have Keenan can have other games. I'm good on the Raptors for now. Cameron, what are you most excited for this season? You're kind of like our big send-off here, buddy.
There's too many things to say what could be exciting. I'm most excited for that first face-off, because that's how our season's going to start, and that's where it's going to initially going to determine what kind of a team we are going to be this year. And this is kind of like a back-off question to Nate, so then everybody else can know. How do you guys come back off of a runner-up from the championship last year? How do you carry that over to winning it on our home turf this year?
Well, the whole vibe for this year is just #revenge game. So we're definitely, losing by 1 point in the championship was tough. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I went into the bathroom and I cried for like 20 minutes. That stung. It was hard. We had lost maybe one game throughout the entire regular season due to travel and everything like that. And to get right up there, see it right in our faces. And the Porters are an excellent team, and I give them a lot of credit for being able to be very smart in how they meticulously broke down our team and were able to get that win. So we see them as a threat. We know that they are a team that has, they put in just as much work to build their program as we have here with ours. So we see them as a wonderful rival. But of course, when you see, 3 championships in a row, Mr. NCBS Royals team, it's hard not to have them on the radar. So I think that our first game will do an excellent indication for where we're headed for this season, but I don't think that it will determine who we are for this entire season. By the time that we come around and we're ready for playoffs, I think that we are going to bring something that is truly special, not just here for the BLL, for the state of Colorado, but for the United States as a whole, to showcase that we are a country that loves this sport and is capable of being able to play at the highest level.
Yes.
I'll just say there's a reason. I don't want to take any shots at hockey, but there's a reason why America never bought into hockey. Box lacrosse is what Americans wish hockey was. Okay,
if hockey was just too expensive, even Wayne Gretzky was saying that box lacrosse was just too physical for him. Fun fact: the creator of basketball was a box lacrosse player. So fun.
Yep.
Really, James Naismith?
Yeah, that's a nice little bit. I mean, he's a Canadian, so yeah, that's the. If you actually watch the basketball game and you watch the box lacrosse game, it's all pick and rolls. It's all the same thing.
Bingo.
Yeah,
love it. I love that you said that. That made my entire. This made this whole thing worth it. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're able to really, athleticism at its peak, it's physicality, it's engaging, it's fast moving. I think if you have never watched a lacrosse game in your life, you'd be much more drawn in to watch a box lacrosse game than you would want to watch a field lacrosse game. And don't get me wrong, field lacrosse players are incredibly impressive. They're fast, they're athletic, they shoot the ball very hard. But when you just go out there and you just see full-grown men in a cage match beating the shit out of each other with metal sticks, how can you not want to get dragged into that, sweetie? Everyone can see it.
I love it. Hey, thank you, Nate. Thank you, Cameron Swearingen. Jeff, this has been awesome. And I'll leave it there, but we really appreciate you guys taking your time on this holiday to be awesome. And next weekend is going to be a blast.
Wonderful 4th of July. Thank you so much for bringing us on, for working with us this season. And I'm very excited for what we're going to be able to do going forward from here.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for setting aside some time. I know it's a holiday, so we appreciate that.
No, absolutely.
Thank you guys for bringing us on.
All right. Let's go Raptors.
Let's go Raptors, baby.
Let's go Raptors, baby.
12onsports.com/tickets, and reminder to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow them on Instagram, rm.raptors. That's it, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next weekend.